Welcome to the Tone Jerks podcast. I'm your host, Brian Gower, and with me today we got
Kyle McIntyre.
Kyle McIntyre. All right,
That's
Kyle,
me.
what's new in your world? What's shaking, what's grooving, what is good?
Oh man, a lot of stuff actually. I mean, if you look behind me here, this
Yep.
right.
Yep.
There you go. I up to my same old bullshit like I posted in the group. I put a rug on the wall. I like doing that. It's kind of a cool thing. Just like I got a rug at IKEA. It was a good deal. It was like $150.
Mom and pop shop over there.
Yeah. Supporting the little guy.
Yeah.
No. It's weird. Maybe you'll fix it. To me, it's a little weird in the camera. It looks like it's purple. It looks like I bought a purple rug, which would be fine. But it's actually like black and red and like orange.
Okay,
But
yeah. I'm seeing more just on...
It's
like-
throwing it off a little bit, but it looks good. And I hung my guitars also on there.
Mhm.
So did a big IKEA trip, dropped a couple dollars.
couple hundos.
Yeah. Just sprucing the house up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Went to Guitar Center.
Uh-huh.
I haven't been without bass strings for a while, and this P bass needs. I think it's been like 6 or 7 months. It definitely needs some strings. I could hear it just by playing.
Oh, I thought you broke a
in
string.
their-
You've just been without
No.
it. I'm like, Jesus. You just
No,
really don't give a shit.
it's that
Yeah.
G string. No one.
Yeah.
D and G could have gone.
Yeah.
But no, I got some new strings too. I got some cobalts.
Okay.
Ernie Ball cobalts. I'll report back next time.
Oh, you haven't changed it yet?
Haven't changed. No, those are still the old ones. Brian, I don't have time for it.
Yeah.
I can buy it, and just throw it on there, but so you throw it at it and it doesn't change. Fuck.
Like a Pokemon ball? Pokeball?
Yeah.
Damn
Damn
it.
it.
Well, yeah, because you were texting me like, oh yeah, I'm getting bass strings, and then it's like, oh, I'm gonna get these the cobalts. I'm like, louder,
Yeah, exactly. We'll see how.
louder strings. I'm like, what the, what the fuck? That's
Hey!
some of the dumbest like kind of marketing. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like, get these strings, they're louder. Somebody is gonna be like, oh yeah, these are
Oh, these are
engineered
killer, bro.
to maximize output and clarity. How?
Yeah.
Maximize output clarity, I guess. I don't know, but the output I don't understand.
Yeah, it's who knows.
Imagine you put those on and your your bass amp just explodes.
Fuck.
Great.
Damn it,
These
dude.
are awesome strings, guys.
Got the hangers there. I got strings. I got just bullshit, I guess. I didn't have any hangers here. I got all my hangers back in San Diego. So,
What kind did you get?
I got Pro
Lines or something?
Yeah, Pro Lines, whatever they had there that wasn't. They had like a $50 one. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
The Hercules one?
Was it? Yeah, was it like anti-gravity?
Mhm.
Was it like gonna float? No.
Those are the ones I have. The one that
Yeah.
they locks or whatever.
Yeah, I don't care about that. I mean, they are pretty high up there. They're like 4. This one's like 4 feet off the ground. This one's like 5 feet off the ground.
The only thing about those Hercules ones that I heard is that the finish or like whatever is on the actual part that the guitar touches, it doesn't ruin finishes. Some of the foam on some of the other ones can. Let's say if you have
Lacquer.
Yeah.
Lacquer will do it. So I might keep pointing to these, but this one has already been worn off. So I hung it up at the house and it wore off. So I'm not gonna really cry about it. And it was the Home Depot special was done on this neck, pretty sure.
Yeah.
So it's like spray on lacquer.
Yeah. So it's like yeah. I mean, it's not like whatever. It's not like a showpiece. It's like
it's not.
It's a player's guitar. It's meant for the road.
Wailing on it, more wear, more better. But
I mean, this guitar
one
made it all the way, gigs in my garage in San Diego to gigs in my bedroom in Texas. Come on,
I'm gigging out, bro, because I've got gigs to my computer. No, so yeah, stupid.
Yeah.
This what's
I
the
highlight
finish on
that
this?
and repeat it.
Don't. Yeah, please don't.
Kyle's best bits. Just cut it out.
I can't think of the name of it's like not acrylic, but it's whatever. It's the non-nitro. It's
poly
not
one?
nitro. Poly. There you go. I can't. Kyle want a cracker? Polly want a cracker?
Yeah.
But yeah,
this has got them all night, huh?
I know. Jesus. This won't wear, so whatever. Who cares? I keep talking about that, but I really like it, and I did that in the garage to help with reflections and stuff.
Yeah,
and also just because it looks cool, it's easy to do. Just take some fucking screws and just
drill. Yeah,
zip them in there. But yeah, what I noticed is like you can see this safe right here.
Mm-hmm.
This thing, the door opens into the guitar. It just barely bumps into it, so I'm thinking I'll put it like a dowel, something right here, so that just prevents it from hitting it or whatever. But what I noticed is I can only really put like 2 or 3 guitars on this wall. So I guess my other wall has like, I don't know, you could do like 6.
Yeah,
I think 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
it's not really an upgrade. It's just a satellite.
Well, I mean, you're able to still like put fucking it's I don't know, put fucking guitars on the wall, which is cool because it's like having them on the ground or put set away in the closet. It's not the best because I don't know, the idea is like, oh, you can just grab it and go, yeah,
and
start using that
bass
guitar.
and a guitar, yeah. Which is, I think we talked about it before. I think we've reiterated this too. We both talked about how bullshit it was to hang guitars up.
Yeah,
and like I have them
in
like the getting settled in. Well, fuck, I'll put some guitars on the wall.
Yeah, you can see in my background here. I got 2 guitars.
Yeah, we want to show off how we play guitar. Did you know that? Excuse me, sir. I'm gonna impress you.
Now, maybe I could say some other dumb shit that we'll probably go back on is pedal shelves because I don't have one currently. I'm not super like I have one of those baker's racks full of pedals, but on display.
Oh, but you're saying like the slanted ones that with LED RGB lights.
No, as you're saying it, I'm like that sounds kind of cool.
It's like shit. Wait, what?
I don't even think they're that dumb. I just see them all the time, and I'm like, I don't know. I always just think of like a San Diego earthquake, and I'm like, they're just gonna all fall off. But honestly, I'm like, sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't want so much stuff on the walls because like my room's tiny, and it's just gonna look super busy.
Yeah,
like having the pedals on the shelf away. Anyways, boring.
Makes sense. I mean, this room is really small,
so
I don't want to make it any smaller. Like I talked about last time. Oh, it looks so much bigger with getting rid of that fan. Well, now it looks super small by putting like a dark piece of fabric on the wall. But
yeah.
Anyways, we could talk about designing our rooms forever.
Yeah.
But
fun shit.
Anticipating your arrival coming up. I got some new chairs. Got some new seating. Still camping chairs, by the way. So don't get your hopes up. But they are sick. They're pretty dope. They're really comfortable actually, but they're you can't take them with you. They stay with the house.
They're staying with the house. I can dig it.
Yeah, it's just doing all around prep and shit and just clean up because I'm not a very clean person.
Yeah.
But organizing, forcing myself to organize and
you got the big brute just in the living room with just like contractor's bags or whatever. They just
contractor bags. You have a steel drum for heat. You just light up, throw some diesel fuel in there.
Yeah, inside the house.
Trash. Yeah. But I've been watching some movies. I think I talked about watching like The Matrix, right?
Oh yeah.
Finally watched like the 3rd and the 4th one. The 3rd one, I think I made it like 30 minutes in and gave up because it was just like bullshit. And then my wife, she watched it.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it. She wanted to watch the 4th one. So I watched the 4th one, which was, probably even worse than the 3rd one. I'm going to say it.
Okay. Yeah.
You probably could have guessed that, right?
Well,
if the 3rd one was bad. I mean, there were parts of it that were kind of cool. I don't want to like spoil it for anybody, because you're probably never going to see it. But
you watched Matrix, but you haven't fucking watched Spider-Man. I told you how great that shit is. And you fucking...
I watched Matrix in my own fucking house, dude.
I don't give a shit about your life. Go watch Spider-Man.
Throw a pick at you.
You just ruin your screen. You throw something at it.
Like
it's like a super yeah. You throw a drink in my face. Cocktail. It's your own computer.
You still flinch though. You're like, oh.
It felt like you're watching. Come at you.
Oh. Yeah. So Matrix was okay. It was like lacked a lot of action. It was just like all about love and storylines. Like they were never like that before. I mean, they had like, oh, this person likes that person. Cool. Let's fight some, computer, generated shit.
Agent Smith just getting his ass kicked or kicking ass.
Yeah. And that was like
running
really
up walls and fucking dodging bullets.
Yeah. I think they realized like that's kind of done with,
We don't want to
They had a couple scenes.
We don't want to do Matrixes in our Matrix movie.
Yeah.
Matrix.
It's like we don't like the Matrix formula for the Matrix.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, like it was a little disappointing, but that's kind of why I didn't want to watch the third one. And then like, fine, I'll watch the fourth one. The fourth one was a little more entertaining, I guess, than the third one. But I don't know. This is how Kyle reviews movies. It's not that great, but it's okay. It's basically
like a dumbass.
I know. God.
They didn't do a good job, and I hate it when they don't do a good job. Because, I mean, it'd be better if they did a good job, but they did a bad job.
Did I say that already? Yeah,
wasn't good.
Started a new franchise, though. Started, I think it's got 9 movies with it, possibly?
Mm-hmm.
Fast and the Furious.
Okay.
So, I remember liking it when I first saw it. So, I like cars and stuff, but I think it's funny. People base like their whole like car culture off of this first movie and all the other movies too.
Okay.
But do you remember like always hearing about like people like street racing after this movie came out? No. Like getting like cops catching them, all people on the news or cars crashing, people dying. I remember it was like after this movie came out, people were just like fucking killing themselves. like
oh man, that could be me.
Yeah, leaving the fucking road with their bullshit, Golf GTI VW, just like leave off the into a ravine or something. Just people crashing, wrapping it around poles and like crashing through people's backyards and shit. But I remember watching this going, oh yeah, this is like 98, 90, whatever, like 99 or something. I'm like, I remember that. Like people just like, oh, I got a car that I can soup up and I can go kill myself with. But
there's
notice
like a Paul Walker joke in there somewhere.
Oh shit!
Let the listener put that one together.
No, well, okay.
Yeah.
He waited. What? He died in the 7th movie or something.
Yeah.
Or is it? I don't even know. Anyways.
Hey, but yeah, it was. I have never seen a damn one. And I kind of don't have any interest in seeing any of them. But I heard they were good.
I live my life 1/4 mile at a time. Like
heard that
lines
yeah.
like that. So stupid. Yeah.
We should.
It was right.
have a separate like 3 to 5 minute review video segment on the YouTube channel. Kyle reviews movies. Yeah, I mean it's all right. Okay. It always ends with you shitting and ragging on something, and he's like, yeah, I mean it was all right.
Yeah. Was it one of the actresses in that? I just do not like her. Was it something Rodriguez or something? I don't know. You probably know. No,
I've only heard of these. Just like they talk about it on Cumtown.
Oh,
and they talk about like inner,
horrible actors.
Yeah, in earnest. They say how much they actually do like certain like films in that movie, in that franchise.
Yeah,
Tokyo Drift one was good.
Yeah, I gotta watch. I think I gotta watch like. I remember seeing the second one and Tokyo Drift, and that's it.
Yeah, and this is just me like throwing it. Like, oh, I heard this, and I regurgitate it just like a parrot. Anyway, so I heard this on it.
Well, I watched Point Break not too long ago, right?
Yeah,
and this is like a Point Break movie, but just with like cars instead of like
surfing,
skydiving, and like surf, that kind of shit, surfing, skydiving, like, thrill seeker shit.
Yeah.
This is just Point Break, where he's like, oh, I'm an undercover cop, and like, oh, I'm gonna let the bad guy get away at the end. I'm like, all right, I guess that's kind of, I'm gonna have to spoil it for you. Sorry.
Gets away.
Spoiler.
Spoiler.
Yeah, gets away. But stupid. But I got a bunch of those movies. It's gonna be like,
it's gonna be a long winter for Kyle. What the fuck does that mean?
The MCU. This is like the Marvel universe here, but just with cars.
It's like the FU
with Vin Diesel. God, that'd be a horrible universe if he was like. Anyways, if he lived in it.
Well, he plays Groot in the right.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. Is that really playing a character? You're just talking. You're just, I don't know. Anyways, that's my what's new. Not really anything crazy. Just really looking forward to getting you over here, dude. I mean, maxed out my credit card, got some seats, some chairs.
Got a carpet.
Yeah, I put this carpet on the wall for you, dude.
Trash bags, dude. We're fucking.
Cold,
we'll get some chili and some barbecue, and then blank.
You ever been to a Waffle House? You ever been to Waffle House before?
No.
I've gotta hit a Waffle House.
I've been in a house.
What? I've had a waffle in a house before. Does that count? Oh, man.
You're like, actually pretty. Yeah, you're ahead of the curve.
Damn, we don't have to go anymore.
No, we cross it off the list. Well, that's close enough. Fuck.
Yeah. Well, I'll make a list or whatever. Johnny's coming.
Mm-hmm.
We should hit that on the way back, dude.
Yeah.
The thing is, I live so far away. We should probably do stuff when you land, because you're not going to want to do anything out here.
Well, no, I was saying, yeah. So by the time this episode comes out, I get Johnny, Two Guns, and I will be in Texas visiting Kyle at the new pad, chilling with the king here in his castle. So we're gonna do, I don't know, a couple things. Probably in Austin, maybe a night heading down there, checking that the city out. I do want to see some things local to you, so. I think I put something on my Instagram. It's like, hey, what places should I go? And a buddy, he was just like, go to any fucking bar in that town. Just like, who cares? Just like, but it's also his like, yeah, just check out what it's like out there. Like, you don't need to go anything fancy. It's like you probably just see whatever local bars in his area.
We should definitely hit Dead Man's Hole. It's not a bar, by the way.
It's a glory hole. Fence laws
joke.
So your suggestion is just
Yelp. He just typed that into Yelp and sent the page to us. Here you go. Here's the all the reviewed glory holes on Yelp
in Austin. Go to the top, search by top or most frequented.
Is it busy at this hour? Mostly busy.
Which it has the hours of the busiest on Google.
There's a graph.
Yeah. But
anyways,
so
what do you got?
Yeah, gonna be heading out there, so I'm stoked. Be off work for a little bit, and then just I kind of just don't have an agenda. I don't think we really do. I mean, we want to get some podcasting in, and since we'll be together, trying to get some banked, not to make it work, but it'd be fun to just actually do the podcast face to face. As cool as Zoom is getting, we're kind of working out some of the bugs here, but it's cooler to do it in person. People are like, what? You mean talking to a computer is not as much fun? No, being in person is a lot more fun. So
I just talk to Google. I talk to like Chrome, not even you. Sometimes just, like turn it off. It's like, anyways.
You don't even have my video up. It's just a waste of your time. Just to have Zoom, you're like, all right, got the camera and everything set up.
Yeah.
Close window.
I just put a smiley. I turn my monitor off.
Yeah. But yeah. So that's gonna be, I guess, a big one. But it's what's now, not what's new right now. But anyway, by Friday I'll be over there. So
you had a great time, right?
Yeah, it's going good. Great flight. My arms are tired.
Because you're beating Johnny the whole way.
Yeah. Give me that fucking honor.
not his face.
Yeah. Got a smooth ride. Anyways, so I did get something kind of guitar related.
Don't lie.
So I got a Miku. Let's see. Here you go. Little Nendoroid figure toy kind of thing. And she has a guitar.
Nice.
So she has a telly.
This telly with a Strat headstock?
Yeah.
Dang.
Copyright. She didn't want to get sued.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Miku, Hatsune Miku is a Vocaloid, like pop star fake kind of thing. Japan, it's like all her songs are like it's like a program that automates the voice and stuff like that. And Korg, probably 2016 or something like that, 2015, made a pedal, the Korg Miku pedal. Wherever you played it, it played like phrases from Miku. So,
grab it. This is show and tell.
It's a way. It's not on a pedal shelf. See, that's another thing. I should get a pedal shelf. As much as I said, oh, I don't have a.
This is a Boss chorus.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There you go.
So,
come on, man.
I was
that easy.
Thinking that I wanted to get or start doing the Miku versus or Miku paired with a pedal videos. I was doing that a lot on Instagram a couple of years ago. I would just do it with my phone and record it with iMovie and edit it or whatever, just like a quick like minute or whatever. And it'd just be fucking around, nothing like demoing anything. I just made as weird and crazy of noises as I could. Yeah. And that was back even when I was using an iPhone 6 and just different recording techniques and stuff like that. And I made one video and put it on YouTube, our YouTube channel, and it's actually doing pretty well. It's like Miku, the Miku Stomp with the Swarm from Beatronics. It's just crazy pedal, and then basically what you want to do, and everybody always says like, oh, put the, like a metal zone in front of the Miku and then do it. I'm like, that's not going to work. Because basically everything that goes into it comes out as...
It's processed.
Yeah. It doesn't... So you want to put the Miku first in the chain and then all your shit after that. So...
But the Miku is the instrument.
Exactly.
You're just hitting the on button with the guitar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Your
kind of thing.
Whatever note is coming out after that.
Yeah.
And so... I think, the Beatronics one actually did pretty well. And it's still getting views and comments. And I'm like... Now I'm thinking like... I don't know.
You should revisit it.
You gotta, do content or whatever. I'm like, okay, they weren't that hard to do. And then now I'm like, oh, okay, I would like to do that same concept and quicker videos, just kind of maybe like less no talking heads part or whatever. I just write it in the description. Like I'm going to be pairing it with some, like Earthquaker devices are really cool ones. So like the Rainbow Machine, I remember that one was really cool to do with the Miku, but it was like, just a different production value. Now, not that I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm getting better with my camera, lighting, and editing, and then even just recording audio and syncing them. I could do a better video and just quickly, too. And so I kind of was like, okay, doing this thing again, introducing that Miku, paired with a pedal. And then just to dress up the little different sets or whatever, just pair it with a little Miku toy. And it wasn't too bad. She also has a piano. So she's a musician.
Piano?
Miku.
Like a full piano? Like keyboard?
Yeah, not the full size one, but for yeah.
It comes with a grand like a Steinway piano. Yeah. Wow.
But it was just something that I was like, oh, it's an idea, but I don't want to go just like I don't know, lose my ass on it and just like spend, because some anime figures,
casino.
Yeah, some figures can get up there, and I'm like, why is that $300 fucking dollars? And then this one, I'm like, okay, I saw, because there's so many different ones, and then I'm like, I just want a plain looking one, and I saw that one version of it came with a guitar. I'm like, oh, that hits the fucking two things that I wanted. It's a Miku and it has a guitar. I'm like, that's fucking
that's
working.
The one.
Exactly. And then I saw that it like the price of it's like a discontinued one. I'm like, okay. And then I saw eBay. I'm like, oh, cool, $120, 150. No, $150. And then I'm like, whatever, it's not that big a deal. And so a friend on Instagram, probably won't say his name, but his handle is Asundari Service on Instagram. I was talking with him. I'm like, oh, where do you get these from? So there's a shop, and he's in Austin, Texas. That it's like a fucking weeb anime shop that has a lot of figures, manga, DVDs, and stuff like that.
Add it to the list.
And I'm actually might want to hit him up and see what places he goes to. And so he's like, oh, there's a shop here locally, and then there's a couple websites that I keep an eye on. It's almost like Reverb for these figures.
Jesus.
And I'm like, okay. He's like, oh, I'll add an alert, and then I'll check out the shop too. And so he found it for $30.
Dang.
Like, that's reasonable. And I just paid him shipping to get it to me from Austin. That was no big deal. Whereas on like eBay, I'm like, I'm gonna pay $150 probably plus another 50 for shit. I'm like, that's not worth it for the bit. The bit isn't even that good. It's just to have it in background. It's not. And even the pedal thing is not a good idea, but it might get views. Like I said, it's still getting views. Detractor of mine, buddy, RJ from Telly Talks. He's like, he's like, it's not original. People have done that so many fucking times. I'm like, well, neither's a podcast or a guitar demo. Who cares? I'm like, I'm gonna do it. He's like, well, exactly. he just had to say something. He's like, well, no, I think it's a cool idea, but it's like, it's been done. I'm like, okay, what's your point here? He's like, oh, I'm just saying. And I'm like, oh, you really are a Kyle 2.0.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
He just has to say something, but he's like, I think it's a cool idea. It's gonna look rad. But
it was good on you though.
Yeah, exactly. Or he's a Rodney. Because you're a rapping Rodney. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm stoked on it. So to kind of do another set of videos, because for the channel, I'm slowly trying to get shit together. But I want to have the demos, the studio tours, the podcast, and then add a couple other I don't know, type of. I don't want to do pedal demos really, but I want to do kind of almost like vloggy type of, or just video involving gear and music. So
yeah.
This is going to be a simple one. So, did I need this thing? No. Is it still $30 of plastic and stupid shit that I bought? Yeah. But it's not $130. I like it, and I think, okay, whatever, it's fine. So,
that's cool. You can take that poster home with you, too, if you want.
No, I think you need to find a place for it there.
It's like,
put it in the guest bedroom.
Yeah.
I'll be in.
I'll put it on your side of the bed.
Yeah. So, I did kind of not music related, but gear related. I don't know. It's more on the lines of like YouTube and stuff like that. I took some more photos this week of gear, and this is now. I'm just like, I keep getting in my own way here, but I'm like, this is gonna sound like a dickhead thing that I'm saying. But right. Each time I do like a photo shoot, it's where I set up my lights and try and get better looking photos for social media or whatever. I try and learn from the last time and try and be better. And okay, lighting things from the back and making sure your settings are better and learning about flash or not with the shutter speed and stuff like that for photography is different than with video. For video, it's easy because the hard rule is just double whatever your frame rate is.
Yeah.
Frames per second. So I'm like, okay, so I'm doing shutter speed 1/50 because I'm doing 24 frames right now. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I don't have a 1/48 shutter speed on Sony. So 1/50 is close enough. So anyways, like learning all these different things that I've heard also from Eric Marrow, Brian, stuff like that, and then just watching videos. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, okay, let me set up my equipment, and then what kind of photo do I want to take? I'm like, I haven't taken a picture of a half stack in a while. So I did. I did lug a 4x12 into my room and take apart the amp out of the amp rack to set it on the cab and light it up just for pictures. And then I put everything back.
So good.
So it's stupid, but I did learn some stuff. So That, and then also yeah, I know you're like, what a fucking hack, but I'm
No,
learning.
right?
Yeah.
It looked great. I liked it.
Well, thank you. I
Yes.
appreciate that, and now more dickhead things coming out of my mouth. I did get good feedback on it too, and I really like that. And I'm gonna keep trying different things, and hopefully my photos get better. And yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it works because it's like, oh, that's a lot more. Like, and everybody who's maybe on Instagram trying to, like, chase that dragon or whatever. It's like of likes and feedback or whatever. I'm like, okay, I got some. So and getting followers, because that's what we, I don't know, kind of want. You don't want to lose followers or have people not interested in what you do. And then I shot these photos in RAW.
Hell yeah.
Right? I mean, I didn't. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know what the hell that was. And so when I shot photos for the wedding last year with Brian.
Yeah. You shot it in RAW. Okay.
Yeah. This all sounds fishy.
Following you. Keep going.
Okay, Brian said shoot it in RAW. I'm like, I
turn my camera off here. Hold on.
Yeah. I'm not involved. So it's supposed to be like just getting a lot more information and bigger files instead of JPEGs. Because eventually you're going to edit them down to JPEGs.
Yeah.
But if you shoot in JPEG, you're kind of just like, okay, you deal with whatever you have. So it's like
you're painting yourself in a corner kind of situation, or
kind of. It's like less editability. And photos I've done in the past that I put online I've shot in JPEG and then just edit in whatever I have on the computer, Affinity Photo. And I don't know, I've been happy with it. And then I was like, okay, I never shoot anything in RAW. Okay, let's see what that's like. And yeah. So what both separate conversation, yeah. Link.
Sorry.
So both Brian and Eric said the same thing, that it's like getting .wave files versus .mp3. There's a lot more information and a lot more editability in those things. So you can edit a lot more of the raw file, and then you save it, and you like almost like you print it, I think is what it is, to a JPEG, and then you can put it, edit it further. Yeah. So when you start putting your LUTs and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm kind of talking out of my ass, but I'm like, okay, I'm learning more, and it's fun. So it makes me want to like shoot more photos, and it's kind of like similar to, of course, there's always more and more things to learn, right? More and more things to do.
Of course.
And like I needed another hobby, but I'm liking this a lot. And I am gonna bring my camera to Texas and find other things to take photos of. Probably take photos of the cats.
Oh hell,
like wildlife. I'm just following them around.
That's the only wildlife. The cats in the house.
Yeah. I'm not gonna want to go see, I don't know, hunting, and I don't know.
Hunting? You going hunting?
That's where we should go. Hog hunting. Just a different kind of hunting.
just drive out into someone's property.
Oh no, yeah, never mind. That went over your head.
Don't worry, we got loaded guns.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess that is kind of my what's new. It's just me fucking around with toys and photography.
What kind of toy?
Yeah, just the
fucking around with toys and shooting raw.
Yeah. Okay. We were saying shooting and stuff like that, and I may stop myself and say shot photos for that wedding. Oh. Do you remember that one time there was like somebody was at a rehearsal space and they left like a note on somebody's
I know
door.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, it's like, here's my contact info for like, here's my number and email address. I shoot bands. And then he like put like, cause he wrote it by hand, and then he realized what he said, and he's like, photos.
I shoot bands. Yeah. Call me.
All right.
You're a band, right? Yeah.
It's like I said, all right, 10 paces. And then we, yeah, I just thought that was funny. It's like the person wrote it all out, and he's like, oh, this is good. This will leave a good impression on them. Oh wait, I don't have any other paper. Fuck, hold on. Bands. I'm like, yeah, they'll call you back.
We
like,
didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the guy we shared the studio with, he thought it was hilarious and just put it up on the wall. It's like, what a stupid fucking way to market yourself.
Yeah.
You couldn't get another piece of paper?
Yeah. Or a business card.
Yeah. And that was back like 2007 when business cards probably would have been a lot better to have.
Cheaper.
Yeah. But nowadays it's like, why'd you give this to me? It's garbage.
Yeah, exactly. You were like stoked to have a business card. Oh, thanks, man. I'll call you. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Oh, wow. This is so
what
sick.
the fuck are you giving this to me for?
Yeah. Whereas now you're like, here's garbage. Thanks.
Thanks.
But yeah, that was kind of my what's new. You had a return of the segment.
Yeah, I had
the open mic minute. Kyle, you got a stand-up joke.
Yeah, so it came to me. I was just thinking about a situation that happened. So my aunt and uncle had a friend in town, and we all went out to friends in town, I should say. We went out and had dinner, and we were leaving at the end of the night, and I go to shake his hand. First time I met the guy, I go to shake his hand, and he moves past my hand. And he like moves in close, and right when he gets like this close to me, he goes, "I'm a hugger." Right? And he gives me a hug, and I just kind of like, okay, just give him a hug, you know? And like, I guess it's acceptable, right? You just have to let, when someone, like, if he came in and didn't say anything, I have the right to deck him, right?
Yeah, or push
just
him
like,
away, at least.
Yeah, just like, stranger danger type situation, Mm-hmm. But since he whispered, since he like affectionately whispered, "I'm a hugger," you just have to like let it happen.
Yeah.
Right? That's the rule, right?
Yeah, you're like, okay, I'll let it slide.
Yeah, and then seriously in your head you're just like, it's accepting. You're like, okay, well, this guy, he's got to get his hugs in, like someone's getting their steps in for the day. You know,
he's got a quota.
I'm glad he didn't. When he was moving in, he didn't tell me he was a rapist. Because you just gotta let it happen at that point.
So
stupid.
So
but I legitimately had that thought. I was telling my sister about the situation, and I said it.
You're driving back. You're like,
I was talking on the phone.
Boom, boom, boom. So
oh shit! No, yeah, I was, yeah. Anyway,
you just shrug. All right.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's silly. That's
probably
good.
not a very good setup there, but
Hey, this is open mic, so you gotta let it just
some bombs.
Happen. Yeah.
You got one? You got one?
I don't have it.
Come on.
I know it's it's hard to write jokes.
Comes and goes. Yeah.
Yeah. So when it comes to me, I'll let you know.
Yeah. Good thing he didn't say that. I would have ruined my night. Definitely.
Okay, so this is a topic that I had, kind of a loose one. As you and the cats over there will bat this ball of yarn around.
Yeah, so good.
We may have touched on it before, but would you now, with the music that you're creating or working on, I'm sure you have a bunch of ideas. Would you be interested in recording them, but having a producer who's not necessarily in your band, but he's producing these songs? Let's say if you wanted to get them recorded in like maybe more professional way, or you're like, hey, I don't want to be the one like totally involved, like, the only one involved in this, have somebody else in it. We've had it to where somebody produced an album of ours. Like it was kind of like a local guy. He's a local band guy and did a good job. But it's been so long since I've had that maybe bring this up and think about it. Because, we're talking with Justin Case. I'm happy with what we've done with, the last, like, Roll with the Punches and, like, the single that we've done.
Yeah.
And I think it's great. I honestly think, like, the fact that it's not only produced by us, but it's recorded by us. I'm like, yeah, this is great. I guess it could be better, with better equipment, I would assume. But also, it's like they've been talking about like, oh, what if we got it produced by somebody like a big time producer? And the producer, I guess, is somebody who's kind of helping with the ideas of the song and helping structure it and recording it. Not necessarily an engineer, but sometimes they're one and the same.
Mm-hmm.
But they're helping with the songs. So if people don't know what a producer is, so I never thought about like, oh, just in case they're like, oh, they were both into it. I'm like, I guess, yeah. But I'm like, it's been so long since I've had anybody else who wasn't in the band kind of like saying like giving their 2 cents on it. Not that I'm opposed to it, but maybe.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like me laying it out there. What do you think?
I think for like the full band type of music I make, or like even if I had a band, I guess let's say I was playing similar, punk shit or pop punk stuff, what we were doing in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I would want like a producer. So for the same style of music, no.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's just because I have my own way of doing things now. I mean, it's always, I think, good to have a second opinion on certain things, but I think that's kind of what your band is for.
Yeah, bouncing off the band members.
But to bring like a third party in that doesn't really know what you're singing or the feel or, not that you can't hear but they're not in the band is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
But I think for my electronic stuff that I do, I think I might want that because I'm new to it. I'm new to this world.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not even really a part of a world, but I'm kind of just diving in and just kind of making stuff, and some things initially sound good to me,
mm-hmm.
and then I'll listen to it in like a couple months and I go, dang, that was not like that instrument is doing something cool, but it doesn't sound very good. Like, what am I looking for?
Okay,
so like
so
certain
helping
things,
find tones, maybe, or even just
in different instruments, or maybe like someone to go, oh, hey, that's been done before, or like, because I've only been in this kind of
like it's
retro wave, synth wave thing for a couple. I mean, like a year now, maybe a year and a half.
I mean, things can get reused and redone. I'm sure.
Yeah,
we've even ripped off ourselves before.
Yeah,
of like, oh, that's an idea.
Fine.
Which I'm like, I know I was always like a stickler of like, oh, we can't do that, so we need to be different. And then I'll write something that sounds pretty much exactly like I've done before, and then I say it's okay.
Yeah,
but
fuck it, this is where it's
fuck it. I say it's fine, but
doing it live.
But well, I mean, the band one I get, because I feel like in a band you would have at least two or at least one other member of your band that you could bounce off ideas. And even if you had, like we had with Plane, it was like all three of us were bouncing ideas off each other for that last EP, which still need to finish. I did open the sessions and start fucking around with mixes and stuff like that.
Nice.
Shit sounds pretty good. But and then Just In Case was the same way. It's like all three of us were bouncing off ideas. I'm like, okay, maybe the older that we get or whatever, the less egos or whatever, so you can have an idea. And then what about this or what about that? But one thing I do remember when our buddy produced It's About Time, which was the full length that we did back like 2007.
Yeah.
I think just the idea of song structures was one thing that he helped out with a lot. Was it just oh yeah, it's like this should be like, he's like, you kind of most of the time want 3 choruses. You don't have to do doubles all the time or whatever, but it's like that's how you know it's the chorus. You can't just have a chorus one time. And I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
It's not a chorus at that point. It's like a bridge.
It's like, and you don't even have to have a lead part. You don't have to have any of this like main riff parts. It's like, it's just like, and it's like so many of the songs were structured in different ways, which was like, oh yeah, but they're all were acceptable to him. And it was cool to kind of like let yourself like go with it. But I'm like, okay, we weren't, because we were so young. I think we were 18 when he was helping us out with that.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I learned a lot. Then I was like, oh shit, okay, now I can see the total difference of like, because I remember we would have songs where it's like 2 choruses, and then it was just like a really long instrumental part.
Yeah.
It's like it didn't need to be there.
Yeah. Or it ended with an instrumental part too,
Yeah.
or
Mhm.
which is fine, I guess.
But I think we were kind of just all just throwing ideas.
It's like you wrote this, and then whatever was on the page, or or whatever, however it was last set was how it was.
Yeah,
and you never changed
that's it. We would. I said we all had ideas, or it's like we would have one idea and we just stuck with that, and we just never changed it.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, let's do it like that way. And I'm like, okay, cool. And it was like that for months or a year or however many gigs. And I'm like, yeah, it's always been like that. Whereas it was cool to have him come in and I'm like, he flipped things around, which was cool. But also sometimes he would do things where I'm like, I only have one verse written. He's like, all right, cool. We're just gonna be 3. I'm like, oh, what? Excuse me?
Yeah.
All right. And then we recorded it that way. And it's like, all right, we're doing vocals. Let's go. Next week. I'm like, I remember cramming and writing a lot of lyrics. I'm like, okay, I have to write it because that's like, we can't just like, he's like, no. He was a different kind of guy too, where he was like, oh, we'll just write it in the studio.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, you can't just
write
lyrics. I still can't do that. Yeah. Still don't like that idea. But it was just once the skeleton of the song is done, then you can kind of start adding other parts. Whereas to me, I'm like, I don't mind that as much now because I'm like, okay, the skeleton of the song is cool to fuck around with, just as long as it's cohesive enough. But I still like the lyrics, and like you've said, that is still great. The last human element is lyrics. You can edit the shit out of your, Melodyne and Pro Tools and shit, but the human element is the written word that you have.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So it was still important to me to do that, and nowadays I don't think I need much help with structuring stuff, and I don't need, and this is all me like, ooh, smart big man.
Whoa.
I don't need much help in tones. I would say maybe keeping your performance in check, but that's what the band members can do.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is all me, and it could be me at 33 at the same spot as I was when I was 18. That I'm like, I already know how to do this. If somebody else came in, like a bigger producer or whatever, I know we had a friend's band who, I guess we won't
remain nameless, maybe.
Yeah, had producer. I guess we can name the producer Ryan Green, right? He was the punk
something
producer.
No Effects or something, or
a lot of Fat Records.
Part of that group.
Yeah, I think Strung Out maybe.
Maybe.
Fuck, we could look him up, but no. It was very expensive, but he worked with them, and they were a band on a local level.
Yeah.
And it was pretty good sounding record, but it was like certain elements of knowing the band and knowing them from live were taken out, or just like not really focused on as much.
Yeah, like they were all really good musicians in their own way. Mm-hmm. But when it came to like the recording, it's like none of that hit the, like, none of that was in the recording. It
was very stifled.
Yeah, exactly.
It sounded pretty good. Drums were great. Guitar was awesome. Very like live in the room sounding. And the guitarist was really good. So it felt like he had the biggest, like, here's your time to shine. Bass sounded like shit. Sounded like, did you just DI that fucking thing?
Afterthought. I think they definitely did.
And then, because a lot of times it sucks, because I'm like, and I would say you as well, it's like we appreciate a really good bass sound.
Yeah.
It's a fucking instrument on the record of a 3-piece band. Make it sound really good.
Yeah. Like, it's one of the 3.
One of the 3. Make it sound good. And I know you can vocals and stuff like that. But it was a pretty good sounding record. Not for the price.
Yeah.
Which was over $20,000.
Yeah.
Over 20,000.
That's rough.
Well over that, actually. I don't know. For a local band, I get it. It's cool to have that, but that's not gonna get you shows. It's not gonna get you signed. It's like you still gotta book the show. You still gotta get people asses in the seats or people to like it. But I don't know. And then I remember he had a lot of control over it too, where it's like, off, Mike, you were mentioning the drummer for that band was a really talented drummer, and he would add so many more things. And I don't think
Yeah.
he was off. I don't. He wasn't off beat or anything, but he was
Kept it super simple and
yeah. But on the recording, they cut out
Yeah.
a lot of the flair. It's like, okay,
yeah.
the guy's a good drummer. You cut it out.
Yeah. It was, he would he was a showman basically,
Yeah.
you know. But it was kind of strange to not hear that. It's like, oh, you just sound like a regular drummer in there. There's no like, this could be any drummer,
Yeah.
which, not to insult, but it's kind of like
his
Jesus.
style wasn't like, you didn't highlight it at all. It's like you wanted to
No.
just make it sterile.
Yeah.
And I remember they had one song that they would play live that was like one of their newer ones, and it didn't make the cut of the record. It was like, that was my favorite song that you guys had. I was
Yeah.
waiting for that to get recorded. It's like, oh, we have all these demoed. I'm like, that's the one that I'm waiting. It's like, it didn't make the album. It's like, oh, the guy didn't like it.
Yeah, dang.
But so you didn't record it? And so
Yeah,
he probably was like, okay, we're taking away. We don't want your drummer to be as, crazy on, on the album. So, put a stifle on it. And then guitar sounded cool, because I'm sure the guy had like a shit ton of cool guitar amps and mics and shit like that. So, but I remember they were like, once they got it booked with the guy, they were saying like, yeah, no, the guy wants us to show up, and we'll be there.
Yeah, it was
Like,
like in
for
another state. They stayed at the studio. They lived
for
at that
a week
studio.
or something like that. And the guy's like, bring nothing, instrument wise. He's like, you're not going to use your own instruments. You're not going to use amps or pedals or anything that you like. We're just going to use all my stuff. I'm going to do everything, which is kind of, as if you're going, the way they said it was like, oh, this guy doesn't want to polish a turd. He's like, everything on his own. And then, which I'm like, I don't know. It's kind of cool, but the attitude I didn't like.
Yeah.
Still don't. I don't like the idea.
Still brought my bass.
Yeah. And yeah, fuck them. But it was just kind of that idea of like, okay, well, and not every producer's that way, right?
No,
but it's just an extreme case.
I just think that's just an example of picking the wrong one.
Yeah. But it's also like
someone who's in it for themselves, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Who thinks that they're doing right for them, but not necessarily for you. And, I think even a friend could be a producer, even like someone or a fellow musician that you're, who knows your music or whatever and can make you sound better, whatever. But I think in that situation, you don't really know the guy. He just kind of going off of, I know music. It's like, yeah, but like that, like an example, like that song was really cool and they got rid of it. Like,
and they didn't even try to record it.
Yeah.
And then it was like
this guy didn't like it, most likely.
Yeah. And then music is changing so much, and it's not like it was 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, probably. But bigger budget, labels, they would just kind of like, they would go to certain producers. I remember like watching, I think it was like a documentary from Starting Line. They couldn't get a certain producer because the label didn't want to pay for it, or couldn't get the guy or whatever. And it was, I can't remember who the guy was, but it was the guy who did Newfound Glory's album. They wanted to get that same guy, but they couldn't get him. And they're like, I like how Newfound Glory blew up, but we kind of kept just spinning our wheels and getting kicked off labels and shit like that. It's like not that it's the producer's fault, but it's like, I don't know, what if we got the producer that we wanted?
Damn.
And it's so different now. Obviously, you could probably, I don't know, there's not as much money in smaller punk bands, so I'm sure there's not like labels like stopping them from getting the producers that they want or whatever.
Yeah.
What the fuck do I know? This is me just speculating and talking out my ass. And then, like you were mentioning about the friends, stuff like that. It's like, okay, a friend that you respect or a musician, like totally have them help.
Yeah.
I know, buddy Sean Tolley, friend of the show. He's got a studio that he's engineer at, and he does like mixing and mastering, but he also offers like the producer. Like, he's like, I'll help produce it if you want me to. And it's not that much more because like I'm already kind of doing the work, so just add that on to your per song or whatever. And I think he's got some Yeah, some people who are interested, but they're like, fuck it, let's just do it anyways. I mean, you're here and I like what you've done, so you probably got a good ear. So kind of somebody that you would respect that you're like, oh, you're kind of going to Sean because you like what he's done. And
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
you like his bands that he's done. So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
well, let's hear what he has to say about this. And some engineers like him would be like, he's an engineer. He's not just going to like, all right, push play. All right, you fucked that up. I don't care. He's going to be also like, all right, well, why don't you do it again? And that's kind of like having somebody else, like almost like the extra band member to like the checks and balances. Like, oh man, let's try that one more time.
Well, and sometimes that stuff is painful for the artist. It's like you spent all this time, you wrote this stuff, but it might come out better than how I don't know. I'm trying to say it like because I know we change songs. We changed a lot of like verse. This was the chorus and now it's the verse and this is the verse and it used to be the chorus, so a lot of that stuff happens. And so you kind of have to have an open mind. Like, will this song actually be better? Or maybe it will. Let's try it out. Let's not just throw the brakes on and have a pity party. Like, oh, I'm not getting my way, which can happen on both sides. I've seen. It's like producers like, oh, I want it this way or whatever. But like I said, it's painful, but you got to have an open mind.
Yeah.
Because in the end, you're trying to make a better product than what you have.
Yeah. And it's like both people are involved and probably have their names on it in some way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, you kind of also don't want to give up your song too much.
There's that.
In that it's like, oh, you gave all your say away. I remember there was an instance where when we were working on that one, there was like the song was pretty much almost all done, and then the guy was like, "Oh, I have this idea for this, bridge part," or it was like the intro of the song. He's like, "Oh, what if we do this and then put like, here, I have an idea of like something to say for this." It was like I can't remember what it was, but it
was like the lyrics that we weren't using or something, and it was like spoken word or something. Right?
No, for me, he wanted to make it like over like the effect to sound like it was through a megaphone during like a rock part or whatever. And then he's like, "Oh, say this," and I'm like, "Okay," and I said it in time to how he wanted, almost like yelling or whatever. And then he put like a megaphone kind of effect on it. I'm like, "Oh, this is kind of cool." I'm like, and he's like, "We're moving on." I'm like, "We're not leaving that in." He's like, "No, yeah, you did a perfect job. That sounds awesome." I'm like, "That makes no fucking sense." I'm like, those words make no sense on this fucking song. And he's like, "No, dude, it sounds cool." I'm like, it sounds stupid. I told him, I don't really like the idea. I think it sounds kind of dumb. And then also the lyrics make no sense. And then we were kind of like, this is where we were butting heads a little bit. And then I finally got my way. I'm like, if I wouldn't have said anything, that would have been in the song and it would make me hate that song. So that's kind of like when you're having a producer. It's like, okay, you have somebody else's ideas in it as well. They could be bad. It could be better. Who knows? But if you don't like it, you don't like it. It's your song still.
But yeah, you gotta be careful too. It's like, well, I have it recorded. It's staying in there. It's like, wait a minute. It's like, I don't want this song anymore. Then I can scrap everything.
Yeah, and then
I can burn this house to the ground.
Yeah, literally. And then nowadays with digital stuff, it's really easy just to delete a track.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, so we're rambling on a little bit, and it's not to say any good or bad having a producer, but it could be. I don't know. These are like it's like our topic is kind of like Kyle's movie reviews. I don't know. There's some good stuff. There's some bad stuff, but I don't know. It's all right,
stuff
I guess.
In between stuff.
It's all right, I guess. Sound like a fucking moron. Let's get out of here. What do you say?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Just want to say thank you so much for tuning into the Tone Jerks podcast. If you like what you hear, you can follow along on social media. We're on, Facebook. We have a Facebook group. Search the Tone Jerks. You'll find it. And then it's also linked in the description, as well as our Instagram at the Tone Jerks. You see my fucking cool ass photos. Okay, I'll get all the fucking.
What I did like about, they look really sick, but that orange one that you were talking about, the 412 cab, it's so cool how like ripped up that cab is. And it's like the detail comes through really well. And then it shows how like pristine the head is on top of it. You're like, those didn't come together. Yeah. But it looks really cool. Anyways, keep going.
Yeah. You can see those photos on Instagram. I even have like a cool, photo of the Miku that I took.
You can like it if you want, I guess.
Yeah, even Ko was like, these are looking good, actually. It's a picture of the Miku figure. So, yeah. What else? If you wanted to give us a review or a positive 5 stars on Spotify, that'd be great.
Only if you're gonna do 5 stars.
If
only.
you're gonna do 4, fuck off. No, I'm just kidding. You can leave us some stars on Spotify. That's cool. And then also on Apple Podcasts, you can leave us a review and rate us over there. Hopefully 5 stars. And then
do it.
What else? Oh, subscribe to YouTube. You can watch the video. You can see Kyle's cool ass room over there with the carpet and the guitars hanging. He's a real looker over there. He's a real stunner.
It's so cool. This IKEA rug.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
He is what we call stunting over there. And then give us a sub over there, or give us a dom over there.
Too many doms.
Too many doms. We need more subs. And then if
Dom
you're really
Toretto.
if you really like what you hear, you can help support the show on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. You can help support the show, but you double down for $2 a month. You just $2. You can get an extra episode every week, and then you get an RSS feed. You get to put that in your favorite podcatcher, and you get the whole back catalog of all the old episodes, all the good stuff. Behind that paywall, it's risque over there, but let's see. Just for the support, we want to give you a huge shout out, a sizable acknowledgement. Kyle, you got a list over there?
Yeah, I got it right here.
Why don't you give it to
now you're doing your traffic noise, like the radio noises and shit. Like
bonks.
Your jungle zoo or whatever it is.
The zoo crew or whatever.
Yeah.
I want to get one of those. But I don't think we can do it over. Like, I got Zoom to work. I'm not going to add any more shit.
Don't fuck it up.
I'm going to fuck it up. Don't fuck it up.
Andrew Walsh from Andrew's Alcove and the Second Button Podcast, which is a listen along, watch along Seinfeld fan made podcast.
Yeah,
that Brian's also a part of.
Andrew and we got a Seinfeld podcast. Check it out. Second Button.
It's a Seinfeld fetish podcast. You guys should check it out. Check out George this week. He's looking pretty good. Abe Newman, Michael Newman. Nicholas Payson, Nicholas Ogburn, Doug King, Doug Christ from 37 Effects.
This is a repeat of last week.
Huh?
Warm, truly.
Oh Jesus! Yeah, I'm all out of water. I'm like a little dry.
I'm dry.
Masters of the Cinematic Universe and the Just Surprise Me podcast. We also have Joe from Like My Pedals, Joseph from Like My Pedals, the Just Surprise Me podcast, and also Masters of the Cinematic Universe. We got Will Lehue from the Just Surprise Me podcast as well. We have RJ Smith from Teletalks. Brian's wearing the shirt. What up? What up?
Yeah.
If you're listening on Spotify, you can't see it. Sorry. We're not Joe Rogan yet. We can't put it on there.
Yeah. St. Rogies.
Yeah, this is St. Rogies. Teletalks. That's what he's rolling with on YouTube and Instagram. Fame. I didn't write fame there. I'm gonna put fame.
Edit.
All right. Jamie Davis, Johnny Ray.
Need some shocks on that keyboard of yours. Shaking the whole
I know
camera.
that's. Well, I was actually hitting the table.
Get pissed.
Johnny Ray, Howie Feltersnatch, Jason Fuzzmonger, Steve Rao from 60 Cycle Hum, Kevin E. Quits from E. Quits Guitars, Co Schneider from Tennessee, Alvaro Viramontes, Brian Nutter of Nutter Guitars, also in Tennessee, Mel Chibson. Actually, Kevin E. Quits is also in Tennessee. Fuck.
Yeah.
Dude, I moved to the wrong fucking city. Do you know that?
I was saying, what should we do in Austin? He's like, and Co is like, go to Tennessee.
Yeah, fuck that.
Like, they're close enough, right?
They're not.
Well,
They're
yeah,
not.
this is the joke I was teasing Kyle about. I guess because they do Nashville. They do the Summer NAMM.
Yep.
And Kyle's like, oh, I'm going to be in Austin. I could easily just go to Summer NAMM. It's so far of a drive.
So Tennessee is like 3 states long. Like if you look at like Mississippi, Alabama and Georgia, it's like the length of those.
Yeah.
Like, it's so long. Then,
Yeah.
it's still, like, Nashville's not that far into Tennessee, but Tennessee is still, like, 4 states away. It's really far. And you would think, oh, it's the South. It's fucking right there.
Whereas, like, Anaheim to San Diego is like an hour drive.
Yeah.
It's not that close.
It's like still, no. It's 7 hours to, or it's 5 hours to my mom's house. Still in Texas.
Which is still, yeah.
Okay. Still in Texas. And that's the same road I got to go to still go to Tennessee. Anyways.
You just drive past. See ya, Mom.
Yeah. Bye, Mom. Got to make
Ma'am
the
or
time.
bust.
We got Mel Chibson of Chibson Guitars. Sean Arbo from Gun Street Wiring Shop. Sean Fahey. Sean Wright from Lollygagger Effects. Juan Ortiz from Tone Hungry Effects. Mike Oxbig.
I'll be editing music.
Oh, Oxen? It's a Mike. Oxen's big? I don't get this joke anymore. Huge erection.
I bet his ox is pretty.
Is he yeah?
Is he in yet?
Is he in yeah? All right. Got Zachary Ayo.
Ayo. We said that last time.
Zachary Ayo.
Ayo.
Ayo. Eric Merrill from Elm Effects. Scott Hamilton from the Effects Loop Podcast. Tim Noack from Bardic Audio Devices. Jonathan Jeruzik from 12th Hour Devices. Tyler Rhines from Tyler KC Riffs on Instagram. Matthew Fenslaw from Every Guitar Group on Facebook, but mainly ours.
He's out there.
He's posting
he's getting
hot
it.
stuff, baby, in ours.
He's getting it.
He's definitely tame. You see him, he's out. He's baiting out there, though. I mean, wait, hold on. Never mind. He probably is.
Keep the bait into our group.
Yeah. Michael McVeigh and Matthew Davis. That's it.
All right. Cool.
That's the list.
Yeah. Yeah, we will see you next time.
All right.
Bye. We're gonna
I don't do it with my hands. All right, bye.
See ya.